What's up, guys? How are you doing, man? Hey, Guns N' Roses have a new drummer. This news broke out yesterday and the day before on 20th of March. And I mean, it was a Christmas. It was like, a festival on social media about this issue. And I prepared a really long and deep investigative research for this video. I even wrote it on a paper. See? Yeah, I'm old school. I write things on paper. And I did that when they announced that Frank Ferrer is out of the band. That was on 19th of March. And I was doing this yesterday on 20th. And on 7 p.m., I saw this news, like 2 minutes after 7 p.m., they announced that Isaac Carpentier is the new drummer of the band. So congratulations to Isaac. That's the post that they gave or posted on every social media. I don't know. I prepared a lot of things. I prepared some other names that were, circulating as possible names for this job, we can say. But now I'm just gonna go through Isaac, Frank, and something that fans showed me because, yeah, I really did a research this time. I was monitoring things. So Isaac Carpentier, he's a drummer who played in a band called Able Nation. That's, I guess, his biggest, gig that he had. He also played in Loudermilk and Gosling, and he played a little bit with Adam Lambert, the guy who's playing with Queen, Adam Lambert and Queen. And he had one important link to Guns N' Roses, and that was Loaded, because he is a drummer of Duff's band Loaded. So he is familiar, and he had this, some people say, biggest link that you can have is if you're a drummer, it's if the bassist is okay to play with you. I mean, basically here. But remember, Duff mostly played guitar in Loaded, not bass, but guitar. But never mind, he probably vouched for the guy, and he's a little bit younger than them, so that's also cool. A trendy, new, younger drummer. So it is what it is. And to be honest, Isaac Carpentier had a biggest chance to be a drummer, because a week or two ago, some people broke this as a rumor back then that he's going to be a drummer, like 2 weeks ago or a week. I'm not that sure. And there was a Wikipedia leak, or not a leak, but somebody went and wrote or edited the Guns N' Roses Wikipedia page naming Isaac Carpentier as a drummer of the band. But that was like before 19th of March, when they announced that Frank Ferrer is out of the band. But that was only for a short period of time. Of course, some people took a screenshot of it, or snapshot, whatever, and that's how it was one of the clues. And the guy has a closed Instagram page. I don't know if that was the clue, because now he's going to sign an NDA agreement with Axl Rose, and he's gonna basically disappear from public eye as any other Guns N' Roses member entering this band. Played with Duff, okay, we already said that. And the people who broke this rumor, like a week or two ago, I found those people and I talked to them. But I'm not gonna reveal who they are and where I found them. But yeah, I talked to them and I congratulate them. I said, bravo. Knowing stuff like that is amazing for me. So I learned, or I heard from them, that there is going to be more things involving Guns N' Roses, something that I talked about in the previous Guns N' Roses video. You can find the link in the description. The video is about new music and my take on if they are going to release any new music this year, and I learned something about that, but I'm not gonna say anything yet. So that was Isaac. Good. And I did a poll on Reddit, in Guns N' Roses Reddit page, asking people before it was announced. So is hiring Isaac a good or a bad move in your opinion? Since the biggest rumor is that he's going to be the one. So this was before they announced it. And you can see here 89 votes, not so much votes, but I gotta say they removed it. The people from that Reddit subreddit group. I don't know why. It was a good and honest and I can say peaceful poll. I said nothing bad, but okay. And check out the result. 53 voted for I don't care. People didn't care about Isaac Carpentier being a new drummer. And bad move 22 and good move 14. this poll would have ended in 2 days, and I think that the results would be basically the same. So this is a good piece of research if you want to see what audience thought about it. But we are going to talk about fans and audience a little bit later. But speaking of I don't care, speaking of that, we gotta talk about Frank Ferrer, man. Frank, my man, he was in a band for 19 years, so he's the long-lasting member of this band. Not the member, sorry, the long-lasting drummer of this band. 19 years, guys. He came in 2006, 19 years. And for 19 years, speaking of I don't care and being a hired gun, he only released these 5 songs with this band. But not released. He was credited as a player, not even a songwriter, for only those 5 songs. Chinese Democracy, Better, If the World, There Was a Time, and IRS. I mean, is there anything to say more about Frank? I mean, he was a good guy, a good drummer, but man, for 19 years, you were only credited for playing these songs, and not even the songs that they released in last 2 or 3 years, the four new singles. You know who's credited for these songs as a player? Brain Mantia. He's credited. Not even this guy. I mean, what did you do in this band, man? I mean, he was only a touring guy, and there's nothing bad to say about him unless that's what happened when you're a hired gun and when you're a wrong drummer in a wrong band. First of all, he's a great drummer, and I think he was the wrong guy to be in this band, because this band always needed somebody like some, a rocker, a mega drummer, not a guy who's more like progressive and so. So Frank, my man, I mean, probably it was a good pay, but it is what it is. It's Frank Ferrer, man. He was in the band so long and he's not anymore. And the last thing I want to talk about in this video, which was a huge part of my yesterday's plan for this video, is what other names circulated in the air. Matt Sorum, Steven Adler, Brain Mantia, we already said, Brent Fritz from Slash and the Conspirators, some guy named Bruno Valverde from Angra and Whom Gods Destroy, a Brazilian guy. I thought, I don't even know who this guy is, but since he's Brazilian and Axl Rose, he had a lot of contacts with Brazil, Beta, Fernando, and all these people, his management. I thought, hey, there's a chance. Then Josh Freese and many other. But the most, mentioned 2 names among the fans were, of course, Matt Sorum and Steven Adler, because a lot of people, hoped that one of these 2 guys, or even both, are going to be back in this band. So let me tell you something. I'm gonna start with Steven Adler. I don't think he would be a good fit, and I gave him like a 1% chance to be in this band, because let's face it, I don't know if he could have, do all these big tours and stuff. I mean, playing Chinese Democracy songs, okay. I mean, every drummer can learn to play a song. I mean, they're not like rock opera or anything. But the other guy of former Guns N' Roses drummers was Brain Mantia. He had a great chances because Brain Mantia actually knows how to play all these songs. He played in the band in 2000s. He knows how to play Appetite, Use Your Illusion, and he knows how to play Chinese Democracy, even the leftovers, because he was the drummer who is credited or played or wrote all of these songs. It would be like, hey, you know everything, man, just come and play. And many people voted for him. I mean, voted. It was not voting, I was just monitoring the comments, monitoring on Twitter, monitoring on Reddit, and on Instagram, and I guess a little bit on this Facebook, of course. And speaking of not being, important, which I said for Frank Ferrer, man, I felt sorry for the guy, because when they announced that he's out of the band on 19th of March, man, you just couldn't find any comment about him, All the comments were about Matt Sorum or Steven Adler. I want Matt. I want Steven. I want Matt. I want Steven. I want Brain. I want Steven. Hey, what about Josh Freese? Hey, what about Brent Fritz from Conspirators? Or what about Isaac Carpentier? There's rumor, but nobody talked about Frank Ferrer, man. the only time you can find a comment about him is, it was like 1 in 20 comments, 1 in 25 comments. The one was about Frank. Like, I'm sorry, Frank, you were a good guy. Good luck with your further endeavors. Man, I mean, and the most people, of course, wanted actually Matt Sorum, because he was trolling that day, 19th of March. He posted a picture on his Instagram. He like sitting on the drums like this. You can find it. It's an orange like background, and a lot of people thought, yeah, this is a time for him. But I don't know how his relations with Axel are a mystery, or they're not that good. I think, I don't know, and I don't know what relations he has with Slash and Duff. To be honest, after Velvet Revolver and all that, I don't know. And apparently he's really hard to work with, so that's why he didn't get the job, I think. And I was thinking, like, because obviously we've seen a decline in interest for this band, Guns N' Roses. I think they couldn't sell a concert in, not London, but England, somewhere in England, on this upcoming tour. And I've seen this on internet, I've seen this among fans, the decline. And I was thinking, okay, they can, destroy this decline and start going up only if they take Steven or Matt back and then open a place for Easy. And I wrote that here. If you want, you can go and check out this article. I wrote that this is the way to make a comeback and give people something new and something they care about, and try to sell more tickets that way. But they decided not to do it, because I even wrote a lyrics for the Dead Horse, from the Dead Horse song. Sometimes I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, meaning they are a dead horse that, went like 10 years in a row with this new reunion lineup, and they played the same songs on this show. So beating the dead horse, they could have stopped beating the dead horse by inviting Easy and Matt or Steven, but that didn't happen. So congratulations, Isaac. That was all for this time, guys. We'll see. Let's go back to this. So this is, I told you, every comments were about Matt and Steven when Frank was announced, and now when Isaac is announced, people seems to don't care. People wanted one of the older members, one of the original drummers. They didn't get it, and it is what it is. Thank you for being with me, guys. Yeah, I saved this video in the end. I was thinking if it's okay to do it or not, but I did it, and see you next time. Until then, like, subscribe, and tell me, what do you think now? Is hiring Isaac Carpentier a good move or a bad move? And go check Junkyard Rock Stories for this, for this latest story, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.